Gosh, can't remember the last time I sat down and did a YouTube video. God, it's hot here. I'm really just gonna sit down here with my hair like this because that's exactly how it represents me in a mental state right now. So yeah, let's get on with the video. Which way am I going? So since I'm literally leaving this place again in a few hours, I want to talk about my journey in IB because this has been an interesting one, and I'm sure that this program isn't meant for everybody, me included, because let's be honest, you know, and just talk about how I did during IB and how I feel like this program is not meant for everyone, that's for sure. So for me, I'm not a studious person. In fact, I like to live my life as it's happening. So I did a lot of crazy things. So from my Amsterdam vlog, I skipped a couple days of school. And so we're now going back to Dunkin' Donuts for like the third time this trip. I seriously thought I would go there more, but we didn't really have time, and we're gonna go now. And those couple days were actually my CAS week. I don't even know what it is, but it was like CAS project. Those are my CAS project days, and skipping school to go to Amsterdam and not doing my CAS project was kind of risky because I could have lost my diploma, because if I didn't finish my CAS project, I couldn't actually finish CAS, and without finishing CAS, you don't get your diploma. So that was obviously a risky thing I did. So studying IB for 2 years has brought me some ups and downs, and it's really challenged my ability on studying and just sitting down and focusing myself on reading anything, like reading my English homework, like my books, my literature part, just sitting down and studying topics that I don't even like. I don't like chemistry, I don't like math, I'm failing chemistry and math. And sitting there actually studying is really difficult for me. But for geography, for example, I really like geography. So I don't find it as much of a hassle just reading through the concepts and the topics that I've learned, especially because my geography teacher is such a champ. My geography teacher is amazing. I cannot live without him, and he's taught me for 5 years. And I think the reason why I like geography so much is definitely because of him. Like, I'm not kidding. It's definitely gonna be because of him. So how does it feel doing my 2-year IB journey? Well, again, like I said, I feel great. And I feel challenged academically and mentally, and my sanity is also challenged most of the time, because there are some teachers that bring out the best of you, and some teachers that challenge you to the point where you have to study yourself completely because you cannot rely on your teacher at all. Like, I mean, you should always rely on yourself for resources and studying and all that, but there are some teachers that mentally challenge you to question why that teacher became a teacher, or how that teacher got the license to become a teacher, because there are some teachers that physically, mentally challenge you to be a better person because they can't be one. For example, would you have a chocolate covered piece of shit or a shit covered piece of chocolate? Like, which one would you want? They're both equally as bad, you know? And sometimes you really just gotta rely on yourself and resources and just be outside, like your friends or like some online tutoring center or whatever, like, I don't know. But like, for me, I definitely relied on online resources like YouTube. Thank you, Crash Course. So for me, in IB, I took or am taking SL, Chinese B, Chemistry and Math Studies, HL, English A, Lang and Lit, Geography and Film. So it's now May 5th. I want to say 5th, but I think it's the 4th. Doesn't matter, okay? So now our film coursework is sent in, probably being marked as I'm speaking, I don't know. But like, one thing I can say for sure is we slacked off so much at the first year. It's insane. We didn't even complete a single component. I don't think. We started our component, but we didn't 100% finish a single component. And I think it's because our teacher was new to film as well, so our teacher didn't really know what she was doing. And well, obviously we were new to IB as a whole, so we didn't know what we were doing either. And at the end of the day, it's probably our fault for not pushing our teacher to force us to do work or something, because we don't really know what we're doing. But then again, it's our fault for not reading the guidebook, course book, or whatever. But I think our teacher should also read up to help us. That's one thing for sure. And the second year we got a new teacher, so that always complicates things, because of course anytime you get a new teacher halfway, it always makes life more difficult, because yay, we love making our IB life more difficult, don't we? My grade definitely had it better than the psychology class. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so we got a new teacher not halfway, but like in mid-October-ish, we got a new teacher. That teacher was so much better, thank you, oh my god. But we still didn't pick up as quickly, and I think this is definitely the students' fault, like our fault for not being motivated and doing our work, because our teacher knew what he was doing. Our teacher pushed us, tried to motivate us, and do everything he possibly could to try and help us finish our work, but we were just slacking off so much. We were too chill. We wasted a lot of our time. Needless to say, we wasted a lot of our time. And it wasn't till when the teacher asked the IB coordinator for us to be off timetable for 2 days that we actually put our shit together and our brains and did work. You know how IB, they have this collaborative film project? Yeah, we had to get to, be off timetable just to finish that project. And our teacher had this deadline. It was at the end of second week before the end of March that we had to hand in our interview. And it wasn't until the week of the deadline we actually started our project together. And gosh, we were so messed up. Like, it wasn't even funny. We were so behind, and my fault mostly, as I was the director of the project. I wasn't even in town. As you can see, I went to Australia. So this is my first time going to Australia, and we're going to Sydney. Hello? And we're skipping school. Well, she's not skipping school, I'm skipping school. 2 days! It was better than Amsterdam though. In Amsterdam we skipped like a week almost, I think. Yeah. Fun, right? Like I said, my life is happening now, and I choose to be living my life. Yeah. Now that I'm saying it, it sounds kind of weird, but I choose to live my life in a fun way more than a studious way, because like I said, I'm not a studious person, so I don't think I should be taking the IB program with what I do most of the time, like traveling. Yeah, I chose to go to Australia instead of being with my group working on the project on the final week. I literally just texted my group, be like, hey, you guys do this. I'm gonna be, on the plane for the next 9 hours, so, when I land, you guys should get this done. I'm gonna check Google Drive and stuff like that, which I did, so I was technically somewhat responsible. But then again, we booked our trip to Australia before our teacher set the deadline, so that was like months before that we were going to Australia. So, well, again, my fault. I didn't inform my teacher. I just kind of disappeared because I knew my teacher was gonna lash out on me for being the director and not being there and stuff like that. So for the sake of myself, I chose not to tell my teacher. I just kind of disappeared, so that happened. For chemistry and English, it's like what I said before, the chocolate covered piece of shit or the shit covered piece of chocolate. Both of them were like that, and it was really hard, especially when I had no knowledge in chemistry. I wanted to choose biology, but my school didn't offer biology in group 3. I think group 3 are the sciences. I don't even remember anymore. But like, my school didn't offer biology in the science section. They offered it in the arts section. And like I said, I'm not an intelligent person. I can't take 2 sciences. So therefore, I actually chose physics at the beginning of year 12, and within 1 week, I got kicked out of physics because I was too stupid, and I wasn't trying hard enough. I remember my teacher told me to either try harder, to come back with a brain, or don't come back at all. So you can probably tell the next day, I never came back. I'm not good with calculations, and I know that both chemistry and physics have a lot of those. But I felt like chemistry, there was a bit of, reaction stuff you could put in there. Like, iron plus oxygen. I don't even know. Iron oxide and stuff, those are like words. But physics is like, you gotta do that gravity and the resistance and the Newton's law. And then you gotta do the poles and magnets, and you gotta do all those magnets and stuff, and I don't know how to do those all need calculation, and I can't even use the formula booklet and plug in the calculations using the formula booklet. I can't do that. My brain is like stupid, okay? Same thing goes for math. I have a great math teacher. I'm not gonna lie, I have a great math teacher. Even though sometimes I can't understand him, he is a great math teacher, and gosh, I want to be smart just to make him proud or make myself proud, but I'm not smart. Can't help it. Not smart. On average, I get like a level 3 or a 2 for my chemistry, and I get so far I'm getting a level 2 for my math, and it's studies. You gotta remember that. I'm actually that stupid. But then somehow for my mocks, I got a 5. How do I get a 5 in my mocks and a 2 on a daily basis? I don't know. My brain is actually broken. Can't use the formula sheet because I don't know how to literally look at the formula booklet and plug in those equations onto my calculator. I don't know how to do that. My brain just doesn't switch. Is it raining? No. Okay. I'm gonna use my mocks as an example. For English, higher level, right? Me. We were supposed to do 3 books, right? So my teacher chose Handmaid's Tale, 1984, and A Doll's House. Our grade had I think barely just started A Doll's House. If not, we haven't even started. We were doing 1984. We should have completed, but I bet you 100% no one in our grade actually read through the whole book word by word. I bet you like 99% no one actually even finished the book. They probably just wikied it or like Googled it or crash coursed it or something. There was no way any one of us would have actually read through the book, me included. I just crash coursed it. And paper 2 was supposed to compare 2 books, right? We couldn't do that in our mock because we haven't even done 2 books, so we just did 1984. And for HL, you're supposed to do 3 books. So for HL it was Handmaid's Tale, which I am currently still reading a week before my exam because I haven't finished it. I'm determined to finish it though. I've got only got this much left. I've read this much already, so I think on the plane tonight I'll read it, so I should be closer. My teacher wasn't even planning to do Handmaid's Tale with my other classmates, so there are only 2 HL people. My teacher wasn't even planning to do Handmaid's Tale because my teacher wasn't bothered. Apparently, my teacher didn't motivate us enough, and therefore I started doing it on my own. And I remember just before our study leave, I chose to do Handmaid's Tale for paper 2, and my teacher told me that you aren't that familiar with it, don't do it. Don't read it, don't even start, just do 1984 and Handmaid's Tale. Just do 1984 and A Doll's House, don't even touch on Handmaid's Tale. And I thought to myself, what's the point doing higher level if I'm not reading 3 books? I'm literally doing everything the same as standard level, except for writing that paper, that extra written assignment thing. That was the only extra thing I did that I felt like I was in higher level. But other than that, felt completely the same to me. And I don't think it's fair to other students around the world who have to do 3 books and we're only doing 2 but still getting the higher level part. I don't think it's fair. So for the sake of I think it's fair, I read it by myself. And I will do Handmaid's Tale for my paper too. I will do Handmaid's Tale in a Doll's House because, like I said, I didn't finish 1984, so I'm gonna 100% be doing this. I spent a lot of time reading and highlighting parts of this book and jotting down notes and writing cue cards on what I should quote and stuff like that. I spent really hard on this. I spent a really hard effort and a lot of my time doing Handmaid's Tale just so that I could prove to my teacher that I don't need your help. Because if you can't help me, I can help myself. So that's what I'm doing. And that's probably why my teacher hates all of us. My teacher genuinely hates all of us. Now I'm gonna move over to Chinese. My Chinese teacher, he's an interesting man. He doesn't appear in the room for 90% of the classes. He kind of just shows up, brings us some material like printed out papers, and he doesn't double side his papers, and at one go you could get like a whole chunk of papers. Like, he prints out an entire piece of text, which are probably worth like 40 pages, single pages, yeah, because he doesn't double side them. And he gives you the text and he walks out with his coffee mug, and he comes back like, let's say like 80 minutes later, sits for 10 minutes and dismisses the class, because our class are 90 minutes long normally, like double periods are 90 minutes long. So, you know, he comes in for like 10 minutes, disappears for like 70 minutes or 80 minutes, comes back for another 10 minutes and dismisses you guys, and that's 2 periods gone. That's what happens most of the time. I'm glad that I did SL because I can manage on my own. I can manage just fine. I'm getting a 7. I need to get that 7 for Chinese because, yeah, I need that 7. Which is why for my mocks in English, I didn't get as high as I would like because we only did one text. And 1984, I didn't even read half of it. I probably read like, I don't know, 25%. I'm just kidding, probably more, but I Googled the rest of the book, that's for sure. So, I mean, I got a 5, which I'm happy, but I definitely could have done much better because I know that my English capability is much higher than I have done in my exam. Okay, so the next thing I would like to talk about is my TOK. TOK EE. I had the same teacher as for my TOK EE in geography, which I'm very glad because, again, like I said, I love my geography teacher, which is why I would choose him for my EE because he is a great teacher, dedicated, for sure, dedicated to helping us, definitely. He puts work on Google Drive for us to see. He frequently emails us to keep updated with the news so that we're updated with the news, which is great because I don't read the news. I only read the news that he gives us because most of the time the news that he gives us is related to our geography in some way. So he emails us stuff like why Japanese people are skinny most of the time, and it helps relate us to our option F geography, food and health. So he's a great teacher, which is why I chose him for my geography EE. I think I could have done better for sure. I rushed it towards the end. At the beginning of the year, I was very ambitious with my ideas. I wanted to do stuff like turbulence in the air, and I mean, that's just crazy. Who does that? I mean, I was way too ambitious, and then I settled with the idea of doing some urban geography, which is a topic we didn't cover in our grade because we chose to do tourism instead of urban geography because our grade wanted a different change. So I'm sorry to my geography teacher. We kind of forced him to go out of his way to study tourism so he could teach us tourism because we wanted to do tourism. So I'm sorry, but I enjoy tourism a lot. I felt like that was a very good topic, and if I could choose my own topics, I would have done coastal, margins, whatever. I would have done that, food and health for sure, and maybe urban or tourism, but definitely not rivers. We have done enough of rivers. I don't want to know anything about rivers, so sorry, but just I have no interest in rivers. So my teacher thought it would be a good idea, since I traveled between Bangkok and Hong Kong very often back then, I would do a geography urban EE on something like, I can't even remember my title, but it was like transport, I don't even know, it was like urban transit systems or like transportation, how efficient transport is and stuff like that between Hong Kong and Bangkok. And I just explored the sound quality, environmental quality, and did stuff like that between the two countries. cities, between Bangkok and Hong Kong cities, between the two cities. And I started very well at the beginning, but then I failed my first draft. Like, not failed, but my teacher told me I didn't do well in my first draft, so I kind of lost my motivation and I stopped doing it for like a good half a year. I swear, a solid 6 months. And towards the second semester, like the second year of IB, we did another meeting interaction thing, and he told me that I need to get my shit together and get going because this thing is due in like November or something. And that's when I put my shit together in my brain, traveled to Bangkok during half term, and I did my urban E again seriously this time, and I got it done. And I was proud. I had finished with roughly 4,000 words, more or less. And it's done, it's over, won't see it again. Hopefully I'll get a good grade. But yeah, I just hope to pass the EETOK CAS part and get my diploma and get 24 points and above, like I said. Yeah, so that's about EE. So now about TOK. My geography and EE teacher is also my TOK teacher, which is fabulous, even though I can tell that he doesn't really like teaching TOK, because last year he didn't teach us TOK, we got a new TOK teacher. Like last year, in year 12 we got a great TOK teacher who was my year 10 and 11 English teacher. She was my TOK teacher in year 12. She left, so now my year 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 geography teacher became my TOK teacher, which is also great. I'm fine. Those are great teachers. I swear, I love them so much. They are dedicated to teaching. And my geography teacher, which is also my TOK teacher, we were due to do our TOK presentations in the first year with our TOK teacher. But again, I went to Amsterdam, and a lot of students haven't actually done or finished their TOK presentation, so we decided to push it. Well, not me, but like the coordinator decided to push it to the second year, which is what we did. We did our TOK presentations in the second year with our new TOK teacher. So that was that. And also we started to do our essays, which I'm pretty sure I messed up. I did a very ambitious question at the beginning, like up till like December-ish, January, I don't know. And then I decided I don't know how to do it. It's too hard. I can't do it. And I told my he is my geography teacher, but I told my TOK teacher I couldn't do it. And he said that, well, you don't have a lot of time now, but if you're sure that you can't do it, and I wanted to do question 4 instead of question 6 or something like that. Question 3 or 4 instead of question 6. Definitely instead of question 6. He said that if you want to change it now, you don't really have a lot of time left, so you really gotta pick up your shit and actually dedicate yourself to doing this question instead, and doing this TOK essay instead of everything else. Like, this question should be your priority right now, this essay is your priority right now, which is what I did. And I did a couple drafts, and the first draft, I remember my TOK teacher laughing because he thought that it was a hilarious story, that I was telling a very funny story. That's what he thought I was doing. He found it funny, so I'm not sure that was the right way to go. So I took the entire chunk out, like the part where he said it was funny, and I gave it to him, and he said he was kind of sad because that funny part was now gone, and I just kind of put it back in, but instead of like a paragraph, I made it like only a sentence long, because you had to explain your real life situation, and I had to kind of interpret my way through the essay to suggest my RLS. So that's what happened. Well, I handed it in, and to be fair, I'm quite proud of it. I wrote a lot about religion, I guess. So I wrote about religion and a ton of other stuff, I'm sure, but it was mainly about religion. I was writing about karma. Probably not the best TOK RLS to link it in, but hey, I think I did good, so that's that. And CAS, I got like over 700 hours because of like UNICEF, YMCA, Chicken Soup. I do a bunch of activities, so it was very easy for me to rack up hours, which that was why I had no concern about racking up hours for CAS, because I was very good at CAS. I was very good at it, so I'm pretty sure I got like 300 hours for each. One thing I know for sure is that I got over 700 hours for my CAS, which is why I have no concern over passing CAS, because I know I will pass it. And I also started my CAS project, which is why I left for Amsterdam, because I also put in effort for my CAS project. I think I did all my IAs pretty well, and I'm pretty proud of it actually. I think the only IA I could have done better so far, like the only IA I can think of that I could have done better, is definitely math. We did it around October of the second year, and for me, I definitely feel like I could have put in more effort on my math IA for sure to have gotten a better grade. Well, I don't know my grade, but I know one thing I could have done for sure to hopefully get a better grade at least was to do my math IA better. I mean, it's good, but I definitely could have done better. And now I looked at it again a couple months ago, and I can see the mistakes that I've done and stuff that I could have definitely done better to help improve my grade. Okay, last thing I'm going to talk about is my exams. So my first exam, which is geography, starts on my birthday, which is next week. I don't know when this video is going to come out. I'm sitting here doing a YouTube video 1 week before my exams, so you can probably tell how it's going. Not well. I went to Pattaya a few days ago. I went swimming. I did a lot of useless things. Like, not useless, but I did a lot of fun things. But that definitely did not include studying. So I don't see a good outcome from this IB examination. But one thing I do see is that I've learned a lot from my life experience. And trust me, it takes a lot of guts to face IB after your 2 years and putting your brain together, mentally getting ready for the IB exam, and just looking back on how far you've come. From me being an idiot to me still being an idiot, but slightly smarter than an idiot, because again, I handed in my IA, my TOK, my EE. I'm proud of myself for being able to do that. No matter what grade I get or the result that comes out, whether I get 29 out of 45, 28 out of 45, 24 out of 45, as long as I get my diploma, I'm just happy. I really am, because this program's not meant for everyone, and I know that this program was not meant for me, but I chose it, well, at least my mom chose it, because I was in my school, and my school only offers IB as an outsource of your high school. So I can tell this program is not meant for everyone. It's definitely not meant for me, and I don't know how I am still alive doing this program. I am proud to have been in this program in the first place, and again, no matter the outcome, as long as I get the diploma, I'm proud of myself. And yeah, that's all I have to share with you guys. I'm just proud to have gone down this road. It's certainly an experience challenging my skills on being able to sit down and study and do my homework and my IAs and TOK and EE and all that stuff. It's all about time management, I swear, which I'm not very good at, but have definitely been better since my EE and TOK, that's for sure. So that's one thing I can tell you guys will definitely learn time management from IB. And the last thing I want to talk about is what universities I applied to and got accepted from. I applied to only 4 universities because at the beginning, I already knew what university I wanted to get into. I wanted to get into University of New South Wales in Sydney, Australia. Their requirement was, I think, 27, 28, somewhere like that, which I obviously got passed. So, which is why I went to Australia during my film project final week, because I wanted to check out the university. I've never been to Australia before, so I wanted to see if I liked it. I'm glad that I went because I hated it. I really did not like Australia or Sydney at all. And people ask me, why don't you like Sydney? I honestly don't have a reason why I don't like it. I just kind of landed and I was like, nope, I don't like this place. I am not coming back. So that just kind of happened. And after that, I applied to University of Amsterdam behind my mom's back. She actually didn't know until I told her after I got accepted into the university. So University of Amsterdam, I'm applying for humanities. It only requires 24 marks, which means that you just get your IBDP, which is perfect for me because, again, I'm not intelligent. I have no high hopes of getting a high grade. I just hope to get into the university, which is 24. So basically I'm saying, yes, I just hope to get 24. And my friends, they want to take medicine, psychology, they need like 37 above. I don't have any hopes and ambitions for that. I just hope to pass. That's it. Bottom line, I just hope to pass. So I applied for those two so far, and I have applied to those two and got accepted into those two universities. The other two universities are in Hong Kong, which kind of explains why I wouldn't get in. Not that I want to, because I don't want to stay in Hong Kong. I'm so done with Hong Kong. I don't want to stay there anymore. So I've applied to City U, which they haven't got back to me. They said they'll get back to me in May, which is this month. So I don't know about that. But even if I get in, I'm not going. For sure, I'm not going. Like, no. And the other one was HKU, Hong Kong University of Hong Kong, which is a bit ambitious because with my low grades-ish, wouldn't get in. But not like I want to stay in Hong Kong, so I'm completely fine with that. So I just applied for the universities just in case I changed my mind or something. Not like I would change my mind, but in case I wanted to suddenly stay in Hong Kong for no reason. So now it's most likely that I'm gonna go to Amsterdam because one, I like it. 2, they accepted me. 3, the grades are low. 4, it's just fabulous. It's got the humanities, which I want to take and major in. So I'm completely fine with that. So this is to wrap it up, guys. That's the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed watching me tell you how bad I am in IB, and I think I will be doing those kind of live results reaction thing and tell you about how I went through my exams and stuff like that. So stay tuned for that. And this is going to be the last video for this month so far. Not like I've made a video in the past few months-ish. I did an Australia vlog, but I just kind of chucked it out there without saying anything. But this is going to be the last video for sure before my exams. And then I got my graduation dinner, got my UNICEF project. I'll definitely be talking about UNICEF soon, so stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, bye guys.